So, hello Black Desert Online community. Welcome to the very first podcast about Black Desert Online, kindly presented to you by Apollonius, Ike.
Hello everyone, I'm Mike, but don't forget about NOtricious too.
That's me, I'm NOtricious, and we're ready for the first podcast.
So tell me NOtricious, how did you find out about Black Desert Online? Because right now it's really new to the Western community.
Actually, I learned it from a friend of mine from Malaysia. She was in sort of old kind of MMORPG, and then she was talking to me that she heard about Black Desert, and I went to check it out, and it immediately got my attention.
So immediately you went really excited, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely loved the screenshots that they had up online at that point were already practically begging for me to be an addict to that upcoming game.
Well, how about you, Apollonius?
The first time I heard about Black Desert Online was when I was speaking with people, online friends, about upcoming games, and we were discussing, about C9 and how the developers of C9 were working on a new game based on their own new engine. And I googled up Black Desert Online, saw the first trailers, like the horse where it's like drifting and the mounted combat. I was like, yeah, this is a game I'll definitely want to try out.
Seriously, I hear you guys talk about C9 and I'm like, okay, what the hell is C9?
Yeah, you're such a noob, NOtricious.
Yeah, sorry. Well, excuse me for not knowing what C9 is.
Well, actually C9 means continent of the Nith, that's why.
Yeah, it was not as qualitative as Terra, but it had potential.
So you wanna know now how I found about Black Desert?
No, we just did that.
Yeah, but I didn't say how I learned about Black Desert Online. I just asked you. You asked.
We don't care.
Why do we want to know Why do we want to know why? How did you find Black Desert Online? That's not something that we want to. Okay, I will ask you. Ike, how did you find out about Black Desert?
No, I won't tell you now. You didn't want to know anyway.
Okay, next topic.
Pond.
But if you insist, I will say.
No,
yeah,
I'm not insisting.
I insist. I need to know.
Okay, since you want to know, I will tell you. I was just on YouTube watching videos of general new MMOs, and on a point at my right hand side I saw a suggested video called Black Desert Online, and I just clicked it. And that video was the second release trailer of Black Desert.
I think most of us have done that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The past few months.
The second the video was finished, I started googling about it, but unfortunately I found it that the game had not released yet.
Yeah, that was a really downer on me too.
Yeah, I was really disappointed because I saw so many cool stuff on that video. For example, look the seed system. That was actually amazing.
Well, the giant race, right? I mean, giants. We have seen dwarves in a lot of games, but not giants.
Never I've seen giants as a choosable race.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of other games, like, what MMOs have you played before, and what did you like in those specific games?
To be honest, I started with Lineage 2 about 9 years ago. It was Triple Don't Even Chronicle 1.
Okay, no sieges there.
Yeah, no sieges, but all for the first few months. After that there was amazing siege system and I had my full attention. That days I did not study, I did not go out with my friends, I was just on my PC playing Lineage 2. After that I tried a lot of MMOs, but unfortunately none of these games keep me playing for too long.
So what about you, NOtricious?
Yeah, well, my first were like a bunch of free MMORPG. I even tried Silk Road Online, but didn't catch my attention. And then I went on to my first real MMORPG, which was World of Warcraft. I was one of those diehards, which practically I fucked up my school, and I let my social life get the hang of it. And after a while,
would it be inappropriate to call you no-lifer for that period of time of your
life?
No,
that's the exact what I was. I actually...
We've all been through that. Amen to that.
Well, I was no lifer, and
You're still a no-lifer.
No, that's not true.
We should play the good role model card here. Maybe, you know, like young people listening to us. Games are good. Yeah.
They teach you everything. Who needs school? Oh, you mean the good one? Oh, sorry. No, that was still after I tried World of Warcraft. Some of my friends at school started, well, why do you play World of Warcraft? Why not go to Guild Wars? And I was like, Guild Wars cannot take it up to World of Warcraft. Well, what do you want to play it if I buy it for you? So one of my friends got me Guild Wars, and I was immediately hooked to it. Especially because there was no monthly fee. I could play it as much as I want, and I didn't have to pay each month fee. And of course I still had Lineage running in the background for Lineage 2, which is still one of my favorite games. And those were my milestones of the MMO world.
Well, for me, I feel like Lineage 2 was my lineage for MMOs.
Ooh, oh, I see what you did there.
So what about you, Apollonius? Where did you start from?
Yeah, I started kind of like you, Ike. I started with Lineage 2. You know, when I look in games, when I decide to play a game, no matter, you know, what kind of platform it is based on, I'm always looking for innovation. And I mean, back in the day, Lineage 2 was, in my opinion, the most innovative game that had been released. Mainly because of, you know, like Chronicle 1, it introduced the siege warfare. I was never much into World of Warcraft, but I have to give credit to World of Warcraft because it had WASD, you know, like movement instead of the point-to-click movement. Then I played a little bit of, you know, Rising Force Online and other mainly mainstream titles such as Aeon, to which I was really looking forward into the flying system and the flying comet system.
Indeed, the wings.
Yeah, wings were catchy. So I kind of followed more the Korean gamers line instead of the Western. So, and this is why I actually look forward to Black Desert Online, because it's from what they say, it's sandbox. It features on a lot of core features and core ethics of what we're looking forward to. So, pretty much hyped and psyched about it. I'm not pretty sure to what degree Black Desert will offer such, you know, like decision-making features in the quests. I really hope they will do, or at least that the actions the player takes, you know, in contact with the NPCs will somehow affect it. But in the end, you know, the game shouldn't be that much binding. You know that you have to pick you have to pick like an answer in this specific quest text. We know that there's going to be two factions, the Republic of Calphion and the Kingdom of Valencia. They're pretty much nominal from what I know, and the players themselves can form their guilds. And this is pretty much the main feature I'm really looking forward to in Black Desert Online, because it differentiates so much from other games. You can have your own guild, no matter what faction you choose, and you write your own history. This is pretty awesome, you know. What's more awesome than having the players, and by players I mean each server and their own community in their own separate forums, you know, writing history in their own world. I mean, who owned what castle, how many alliances, you know, had to unite themselves to conquer the other alliance. And this is the open-end game, which, for example, Lineage 2 featured. And this is a big plus to me. I really hate it when endgame is limited to arena-style PvP or, you know, just PvE raid bosses and stuff.
Indeed, because that's where I'm now with Star Wars The Old Republic. It's continuously only do dungeons, but once you do a dungeon like 4 times in a row, it's kind of boring and it doesn't show much new stuff anymore. And Okay, you do once in a while with a couple of players, but what Black Desert does right now with the guild fashion, that's something where I'm really looking forward to and doing that, because it still gives me another option of, even though I finished the game, well, finished is a big word, I did all the quests and all that, it still gives me a lot to do of when I'm doing like really guild versus guild.
Well, I will have to agree with you guys. But I want to highlight about PvP games with fractions. It is annoying when you cannot kill someone from your own fraction, but luckily in Black Desert we will be able to kill anybody.
Indeed.
Moreover, you know that guilds in Black Desert Online will be able to follow one of three paths.
No.
You didn't know that.
They say you can actually, if you wish to choose the three paths, you don't have to choose only one.
But I see it more of a. I imagine it actually more as of a skill tree. You know, it's the combat tree, the politics tree, and the religion tree.
Yes.
So the religion tree. It sounds a little bit weird, you know, being secular gamers, most of us, you know, religious tree. Anyway, but I think that, you know, obviously focusing on one path is going to give you the most benefits out of it. And let's not forget that we will also have mercenaries.
Okay, I do wonder about how they will implement those mercenaries in the game. Is it like what they did in Guild Wars? You just have a bunch of mercenaries you can choose from, which from every class like one. And how many mercenaries can you, like, is it higher? Is it like a higher system, like you can hire up to 5, or I don't know how many mercenaries at once?
The mercenaries are going to be limited, as far as I've been told by the developers. So not everyone will be able to have mercenaries. So I assume high maintenance will be there, and their limited number will make them strategically really valuable. So the first one to hire them will be better. I don't know. But what I noticed is that the developers really want Black Desert Online to be as realistic as it can get. For example, there won't be any teleports traveling.
Yeah, well, I must say that's something that has been bothering me from the first day that I heard that news, because I'm a really strong person that I want to teleport. I want to open up my map.
Lazy, right?
Yeah, I'm really lazy.
NOtricious needs to teleport.
Yeah, I'm a no-lifer, so I don't want to go walking around. I'm walking around in real life enough. I don't want to walk around in-game as well. No, but I really want to. I just want to open up my map and then press the designated town that I want to go to. I don't want to travel like freaking
You want to fast travel from Skyrim, right? Fast travel, click from there.
Yeah, indeed.
But actually, they told me that there will be teleport. They're thinking about it, that, you know, if a guild chooses to be religious, and the guild leader maybe will be able to open teleports in specific locations for a limited amount of time. It will be pretty awesome, because it will give the incentive for guilds to follow actually another path and get money from the teleports that people will be using. Kind of reminds you of the mages in World of Warcraft, you know.
Yep.
Let's get to something else more interesting to your listeners, about the leveling up process. How would you guys describe yourselves? Are you casual gamers? Are you hardcore gamers? Do you like to grind? Do you prefer the delivery quests? What kind of leveling character are you?
Well, I was playing Lineage 2 for about 7 years straight. So if anybody have played Lineage 2, you know it's gonna be a grind type player. Hardcore, yeah, hardcore to the bone.
I definitely like more variation in my leveling, how to level. I don't want to go grinding in one area, because like I explained on the forum of Black Desert Online, you are going to get that most of the players are going to grind in that specific area. So let's say that you are max level, well, not max level because there isn't a max level, but you want to level up and you are in a certain area where you can get lots of XP. Other players will know that as well, so they will go there as well. So then you have like 15 players in one area trying to kill the same exact monster than you are, and then I'm going to get frustrated and probably going to rage quit the game. But
sorry to interrupt you, but this is actually one of the fun things. For example, in H2, people would gather in the Forbidden Cemetery, and guild wars would start over, who owns the farming spot. So if you're like more PvP orientated, I think that, you have to exclude the imbalances among guilds, but this would have served as a nice, motivation to engage people into PvP. It's not that bad, it's give and take.
Yeah, so probably what I'm going to do to level up would probably, if the dungeons are quite of a challenge enough for me, and since most of the dungeon bosses will give enough XP, I think I will go for that. Trying to get myself up in the edge and not going for one monster, like trying to 500 kill times one freaking wild boar.
Well, let me ask you something. What class you were hoping to make?
Well, okay, now I'm going to sound like a pervert boy again, because I've seen the sorcerer, and she is, oh my god, she already took my heart.
Who didn't say that the first time you see the trailer?
Oh man, she was like, and then someone on the forum mentioned her eyes. Yeah, I know what you mean, her eyes, they are...
That 3D modeling was attractive to my girlfriend. What are you saying now?
What?
What, your girlfriend?
Seriously, seriously.
Your life is getting more interesting by the minute, so tell me more about your girlfriend, Alex.
Let's switch the podcast. It's Ike's girlfriend likes female characters in video.
Well,
Episode 1. Okay.
Let's forget about that. I didn't say anything.
I have to be honest. I tried at Gamescom 2 classes, the fighter and the sorceress. But I have to say, I'm one of those freaks who will be playing every class, like either through the betas and also later at release. I don't know, I'm pretty interested in all of them, Especially because, there'll be differences between the gender roles and everything, so play all of them. But if I were to compare the fighter to the sorceress, I would say I would go to the fighter. He was much more interactive as a character than the sorceress. The sorceress, the AoE spells, the range itself, it's not that personal to me. Personally, I'm also more of a melee fighter, so I would go with the fighter. The grab spell, the skills, the kicking, the shield bashes. It's interesting to know that the weather system is going to affect the skills and spells themselves. For example, if it's raining, it might take actually for the shield bash a little bit longer to occur, like the animation, or it might have a little bit less power in it because the rain is slowing you down.
Yeah, they consider
on the other hand,
the weather.
It might be also affect fireballs.
Yeah, they say that for example, if it's raining, fire spells will do less damage than usual.
The weather is definitely it's going to affect the mounts players are going to use. For example, you will be able to summon a camel or an elephant mount in a northern region where it snows. So the weather is going to affect the transportation system. This is a fact.
That's very nice, because I can imagine in real life I don't see a camel walking up in the snowy mountains. I don't see a camel doing that.
No,
same as an elephant.
Not in real life.
So, Ike, about closed beta, from what's the date that it starts and what's the date that it ends?
Yeah, well, the registration for Koreans to get a chance to play on the closed beta started at 1st of October. At 10th of October we will know who will be the lucky ones that will have the chance to take part on the closed beta, and the beta it will be between 17th of October till 23rd of October. So it will be only for 6 days, but it will also be a time limit. It will be only for 11 hours per day.
So there is a time limit.
Yes, you cannot play the whole 24 hours per day. You have only 11 hours to play the game.
Okay, so that's probably... I think they will do that so that the known stuff, the known bugs that they can fix overnight. So, but even though I also heard that in this closed beta, they will have a limited amount of classes / races.
Unfortunately, you are correct. Only 4 classes will be available for the beta, and those will be the Fighter, Sorceress, Giant, and the female Archer.
Well, they have the best character in there, the Sorcerer. The rest can be stolen for my part, but still, are they gender locked at this point?
Well, it is kind of. But for each class there will be the same class in different genre, just with a different name. For example, the Knight class, the male is the Fighter and the female is the Valkyrie.
Okay, so that's why they use in the closed beta only 4.
You are correct. But till now we don't know anything about male Tamer, female Blader or female Giant. Do you happen to know anything about this?
On my side, no, so maybe Apollonius knows.
Yeah, I think that the Giant is on gender lock so far as a race.
Well, what about Tamer?
The Tamer, I actually haven't seen footage or information on that, so we can assume for the moment. I mean, we've only seen female, but that probably might be just, for the moment. Either way, the models are both male and female and pretty good, qualitative.
Yeah.
It wouldn't really care.
Do you also happen to know somewhere a rough time schedule when there will be a closed beta for the North American / Europe community?
I assume this will be somewhere either late 2014 or early 2015. Pearlbis is still looking for a Western publisher. They were at Gamescom talking to a lot of companies, and it's not a very easy decision to make who's going to publish your game. It's actually one of the most important decisions a developer takes, because you have to imagine, and we had really awesome discussion in the forums, who would be the ideal publisher for Black Desert Online. Obviously a lot of people have a lot of different opinions, and to that you have to add that the developers have specific needs that a publisher should be able to fulfill. Apart from having a good credibility, customer support obviously is the number one thing that affects the player base directly. So it was a comment by Brino. They will pay a lot of attention to the reputation of the prospective partner, the way they treat players / customers. So if they actually stick to these values, I'm pretty sure that whoever is going to take over Black Desert Online in the West will be performing well. So this concludes more or less our first podcast. I want to thank you guys. It's been really fun. I mean, it's also the first time we met and talked about our beloved game Black Desert Online.
Yeah, that's
true. Hope you had also a great time too.
Oh, yeah.
So dear listeners, I hope you had as much fun listening to our very first podcast as we had creating it for you. Make sure to visit our favorite fan site, which is www.black-desert.com/forums. And for any listeners out there which are talented in any area, from writers to coders and PHP BB developers or whatever you call it, make sure to register at the forums and leave a message. We're always looking forward to interesting people that want to contribute to our fan site. So goodbye from me, Apollonius.
Goodbye from Mike too. Have a good day.
And goodbye from me, NOtricious. And I'll see you all guys in the next video. Guys, wait a second. I forgot that I was still on Mumble, so I'm going to close that as well. Sorry, Lynn. I am recording right now, so I'm going to... Fucking hey, everything goes wrong. God damn it.
Come on, NOtricious.
Yeah, we don't know who's going to speak.
Why me?
Only Jesus.
Yeah. Jesus? Are we now going with the religion faction already?
Yeah. I'll make my own cult, like the cult of Apollo.
I'm not going to join that. No, definitely not.
That'd be a good guild name.
Yeah. With guild population 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
you smell Fader. Come step in my shower.